Hey guys, Nogorn here, sitting in the super smelter, or industrial smelter that I built, or showed a video of, not too long ago. This isn't actually the topic of the video, as if you've read the title you already know this. I want to talk to you guys about taxing people in Minecraft. Taxing them for what? For using your mob farm. Obviously, if you put up a sign, say, oh please leave a little bit of your gains for me, because I made it and I put a lot of effort into it. No one's gonna do that. I mean, some people just don't have time for stuff like that, or they think they don't have time for stuff like that. In reality, they're just being selfish. So, an automatic taxing method I thought of actually involves some of the redstone behind my super smelter. An even item distributor, such as this one. It distributes items evenly throughout hoppers and all that fun stuff. But the way it works is items go in here, and they fill up hoppers one by one, and as soon as they're full, we get the pulse signal that evenly distributes them downwards. So the way we have it set up here is 3 hoppers go into that chest, 1 hopper goes into this chest, so 1/4 or 25%, which is pretty steep tax, goes to this chest, as you can see. And the only problem with this is, let's wait for this to empty. The only problem with this is, let me just pull everything out of here. There is a item still in the system from last time. But the only problem with this is, what if items trickle in? They don't go in faster than the hopper can pick them up. Well, you'll see that we got 5 items there, and that was a terrific example. Let me redo that. If the items just trickle in like so, you can see the majority of the items will go here and not here. It's kind of screwy. Sometimes more items will go in here than there. It's not even. You saw that. Got a little tongue-tied. But how do we fix this? Well, my first thought was to have an item limit, or like a reserve. Basically, the chest would fill up a little bit, and as soon as it had, say, a couple stacks, it would empty out, but it wouldn't stop emptying until everything was gone. So that way, it would only let items through in bunches, and we wouldn't have issues with sorting. So, what I did was, this was beta testing, compacting, and compacted. And over here, you can see this is the first version. There's 2 versions of it. It's a what I was just talking about, the reserve. So the first version here, it'll start passing items through once it reaches 12 stacks. So stack 12, and it initiates. Now I'm obviously not gonna just sit here and wait for all this to pass through. I'll show you. It passes through no matter what. It doesn't stop even when this comparator doesn't have enough power. This one is kicking it on, and once it stops, it locks, and there we go. So the way this works is, this comparator detects when there's items in the chest, and once the reserve is met, basically when this has enough strength to power this repeater, it turns this torch off and lets item pass down into this hopper. When there's an item in that hopper, this comparator detects it as well and powers it and locks the circuit as long as there's an item in the hopper, which is until the chest is empty, as you saw. So this design over here is similar, but instead of having a reserve of 12, this one fires at 2 stacks. And you can see it'll stay going until the very end, and as soon as it's done, it'll lock back up to start accepting more of a reserve. Now, they both have their advantages and disadvantages. This one is one wider than this one, but if you want to use a button on it, like over here, you would need to wire some redstone into it and get a button on the wall. For this one, since this is a dropper facing downwards into the piston, say you don't have enough to power it right away and you want to leave and you want to get the rest of your items that are in there, so you just hit that button and it'll initiate it. Even if you don't have enough items, it'll push them through and they'll start pouring into the output chests, the tax chest and the main chest. So that's the reserve, and this is it all put together. You can see that it won't let items through, it won't mess up with the hoppers, but as soon as it gets all the stacks that is required, 12 right there, it'll start pushing the items through and they'll start getting sorted evenly. So that's pretty much it. That's the taxing system. You can see we have 3 chests going in here, which is 75%, and 1 chest going in here, which is 25. 1 out of 4. So that was a bit of an in-depth episode, but I really feel like you guys needed to understand how this worked fully to be able to use it and adjust it for tax. Like, say you wanted, I don't know, 10%. You'd have 10 hoppers, 9 of them funneling into the output chest like so, and 1 of them funneling into your chest in your maintenance room, which would be 1 out of 10 or 10%. So that's it, guys. Actually, I should probably show you guys how to build this, shouldn't I? That'd probably be a good idea. So let's start with version number 1. It has a reserve of 12. I have a feeling most of you would build number 2, but let's get this one knocked out of the way anyway. Output goes there. This is your reserve chest, and you have a comparator leading out here with a repeater, another comparator, and this is your redstone dust. This repeater, this locks that, and there you go. That's it. Exactly the same as the other one. It'll function. And my personal favorite, this one right here, it's also fairly simple. Let's just use this hole right here. We have the output. Let me just grab another dropper. There we go. So now we need to get signal from the hopper and the dropper, which unfortunately, since it's not too wide, we have to do something like this. We can put a block here, a repeater here, and we're going to put a block up right there, and we're going to run our wire here, place a block here to lock the hopper, and this will turn the system off and let items through. It won't interfere with this comparator, so don't worry about that. And just to show you this just works, 2 stacks, and there we go. And it won't stop until it's empty like I showed you before. There, it locked again. And of course you can also put a button on it to start up a, say you're at your mob farm and when you leave you want to get everything you've gone. So say you're using something more like this one, which you definitely want to have a button on. Say you have 10 stacks of items in there. You hit that button and wait for that to cycle through. Well, you've got a lot more. This one, it's not too much of a deal because there's only a 2-stack reserve, but nonetheless, you can force it and get your time's worth, and of course, whoever built it, which is going to be you who's watching this video, you are going to get your item tax no matter what. Alright, that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. If you don't understand anything in this video, just let me know, and I'll do my best to clear it up. Thanks. Have a great day.